What is going on, guys? Welcome back. It's been a really big morning. They just announced VGC 2017 rules. They just announced everything you need to know for the new season, and so I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what's going to be going on next season and some of my thoughts on it. It's really big news. I'm really excited. I just woke up, so that's why my hair looks like this. I'm really sorry, but I thought it was super important to let you guys know about the information as soon as possible. So let's jump right into it. By the way, I don't know why the left side of my the left side of my screen isn't showing. I have literally no idea. If you know why that's happening, please tell me. Yes, but basically lots of big news. I'm just gonna go through. This is the main page. I'll link it in the description down below. Pokemon-sunmoon.com/all this stuff. Yes, this is pretty important. There are other pages as well that I will link in the description, but this is the one that I'm going to be going with because it's so pretty to look at. Good job, Pokemon. And also because most of the information that I care about is here. So there are also some the evolved forms of the starters revealed today, but I'm only doing VGC stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Yes. So this says nothing that we need to care about. Nothing that we need to care about. Writing battles still exist, which is good. Battle rules. So this is really important. So in the past, we've complained a lot about how there's been no official ladder to practice. It's been really, really unfortunate because there was because Showdown actually got a lot better with the work of Blarajon and Zaro. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Adding the hide room feature, but for a while it was really, really tough, especially right after US Nationals when the battle spot ladder went down. Because in the past, as you guys remember, we could only play VGC on the special ladder. So with the special ladder going down, and Showdown just being kind of iffy in terms of testing, players revealing other players' ult, players revealing techs, players revealing EV spreads, really some unfortunate stuff was going on, and so it was really frustrating to not have a place to practice in game because Showdown is a very good tool, but it's not perfect, and there are times when you don't want your people to be able to watch your battles or to be able to save your replays, stuff like that. So they're actually finally adding a fourth standard ladder with the new set of battle rules for VGC, which is so good. If for some reason you decided you were the one who made that decision and you added that here, thank you. That is so important. That is so important for VGC. The fact that now we have a ladder that we can always practice on. We can always have our series. We don't have to worry every single season whether or not we'll be able to even practice. I don't know. That's incredible. So that's really, really important. Guys, this is huge. Look at this. Can you believe that? Wow. Yeah, so that's really important. This is also huge. 2 at a time. That's double. Boop. My mouse is breaking. 1. Special battles. I don't think that matters. It does. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the main stuff. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this stuff. VGC 2017 rules. So basically, you can read this, but I'm going to tell you my interpretation of what this means. So double battles still, obviously. Some legendary and mythical Pokemon not allowed. All standard, what we expected. Use of Mega Stones is not allowed. That is so nice. That's so good. That's so important, in my opinion. This is all my opinion, guys. But basically, Mega Pokemon, in my opinion, were very bad for the game competitively. They're extremely powerful. And that just kind of basically because they're so powerful, it kind of over-centralizes the metagame. The fact was that in VGC 15, even Landorus, who had Intimidate and was pretty bulky, would take over 50% from Kang Double Edge at -1, and stuff like that is just really bad. This year, for example, basically, okay, here's my general philosophy on Pokemon, right? I prefer metagames that are slower and that are not as powerful, because if you have a Pokemon like Ferrothorn that takes, if you don't invest, over around 50% from Kyogre Water Spout, which is resisted, and Ferrothorn's pretty bulky, it means that critical hits matter more. It means that random freezes or flinches, everything matters a lot more. Whereas if your opponent's doing significantly less damage, just in general, a flinch here, a crit there, a miss here, it doesn't matter as much because the games are longer and each individual Pokemon, they're still important, but it's you just have more time to do stuff. And so Megas being removed is really, I'm thrilled about. I'm really happy about that. I was never a fan of Megas. I've really not been, I just never liked them. Yeah, my boy Mega Gengar is dope, and I like him design wise. I like using him. But I wasn't overall a big fan of Mega Pokemon and what they did to the metagame. And so the fact that they're being removed, I'm overjoyed at, because I was hoping that they just wouldn't be in the game, I was hoping that they wouldn't be in the game, but the fact that the people who made the rule set had the foresight to say, even though they're in the game, we're not going to allow them. I think that is excellent. So I'm really happy about that. I didn't want to see more Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Salamence. I just didn't want to deal with that, They're lame. And yeah, so I think that's really good for competitive play. I think that it means that basically skill is now a bigger deal. We do have to see, they say somewhere, it might not be here, Z crystals are allowed. I think that was on the other page. So I am not a fan of Z crystals for the same reason I'm not a fan of the megas, but we don't know as much about them. So I'm hoping that they're not over centralizing. I'm hoping that they're not overpowered. But it is worrying to me, and I am a little bit scared. Kind of like for those of you guys who played back in 2013, gems are really powerful, and this kind of reminds me a little bit like that. But I would take thinking about it, I would take gems over megas any day of the week. Like any day of the week, I would take gems over megas. And so we'll have to see how what Z moves are and how powerful they are and how centralizing they are. But I'm hoping that they'll be balanced. That's really all I hope for. So only Pokemon that can be obtained in Pokemon Sun and Moon and Pokemon Moon may be entered. That's also really cool. Some of my favorite metagame, one of my favorite metagames by far is 2011. Not a lot of people hold that opinion. That's kind of a Wolfey thing, but I really like regional decks. I think basically so with a regional Pokedex, like with a region locked Pokedex, only Pokemon you can catch in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. It's a smaller pool that you can choose from. So more stuff, like stuff that isn't normally as viable, is going to be now more viable, just because there's going to be less Pokemon overall. Like in VGC 2015, and 2016 as well, like the Pokemon were so powerful that there wasn't room for Pokemon that were weaker stats wise, because everything hits so hard. But when you have a limited metagame, things like overall in general in the past have been lower power, and I would expect that for the future. And so because things are less powerful overall and less just less broken, there's a reason that Chalk did so well at Worlds 2015. It was some of the best Pokemon and variants in that, and there wasn't a lot of room to kind of to move aside from that, at least at that tournament. I also like VGC 2015 rules, but I basically what that means is that there's probably going to be a lot more room for creativity, and I know that a lot of people really value creativity. I'm one of them. I really enjoy using creative stuff, and so yeah, I don't know. That's just going to be I would expect next year to be a lot more room for using unorthodox Pokemon and having them be good. You can always use bad Pokemon. It's just you might not win with them. But I think next year you'll definitely see that. And if you go, actually, let's try and do this. So Worlds 2014 Top Cut Nugget Bridge Pokemon. This is kind of a unique example. But basically, at the World Cup of 2014 Worlds, this is what we want. Here it is. So first place you have Seijun with Pachirisu, Mega Gyarados, regular Gardevoir. Jody has Rotom Cut and Lucario. Colin, pretty standard team. Colin's pretty standard. Then we have a Azumarill and Mega Venusaur in top 4 as well. We've got Aerodactyl. We've got Rotom Heat again. Rotom Heat's actually not bad out. I won't count that as weird. And another Mega Lucario and Staraptor and Raichu and Talonflame and Lapras all in top cut. So you can see if we compare this to 2015, there's a lot more variety. Here we have Bisharp and Mega Tyranitar. We have 2 Mega Tyranitars. Anash had Chestnut and Blastoise and Talonflame. Look at Ashton's team. Sock. That's Sock, right? The other one's Throw? Yeah. Anyway, that's not what this is about. But basically, as you can see, in 2014, keep in mind, 2014 was pretty centralized for most of the season, but I think that was also because of Megas. But yeah, basically, more creativity, more unorthodox stuff being viable. I won't talk about that. Time system. So this is really new. Basically, it's a 10-minute overall timer that goes down only when you're selecting a move or a Pokemon, and you have 60 seconds to select a move or a Pokemon. So that's Pokemon adapting, they're changing the system. It's chess clock, kind of. I think it's pretty similar to chess clock. I think there might be a difference or two. And basically, if a player runs out of their 10 minutes before the battle ends, that player loses. So, let's think what's important here. So basically, it's a totally new system. A lot of people were not thrilled about the timer last season, which yeah, that's an opinion. And basically, this new system kind of changes that. I am personally a little concerned about 2 things. Number one, my friend Eduardo brought up the fact that minimize now, teams that use minimize and stall are now going to be kind of more worrying, because one player can just set up and stall, and the other one the battle. So even if you have 4 Pokemon left and you have 1, but you only have 1 Pokemon left, but I can't hit you, I think you win under this system, because if I run out of time first. So if the minimize player just makes their moves really quickly and sets up, I can't even if I'm gonna win the game eventually, it doesn't matter even if I have more Pokemon, because they can just make their moves super quickly. But thinking about that and challenging that a little bit, at some point you're probably gonna be able, because the timer only goes down when you're choosing your move, at some point you should get into a position where it's your opponent has 1 Pokemon left, and then your move should be pretty straightforward, right? Because you can just click because you're just attacking at that point. And yes, so I'm hoping that it won't be a problem. I'm really like hoping it won't be a problem. I also think that the metagame in general might be like less not trend toward that as much. Just because of like the Pokemon that will be allowed, but it's too soon to say for sure. So that's that. The other problem potentially could be wait, what was it? I've totally blanked. I'm kind of worried about, because sometimes you do need more time, and so if you take like 60 seconds on one turn, I'm kind of worried that will put you behind, but in general, I don't think that should be that bad. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I don't really, like, it's very new, you know, we've never had something like this before, so I'm going to withhold judgment until we get to play a few tournaments with it, but, yeah, I think that's pretty much it on that. Time, like, I feel like we're just going to have to wait and see, you know, we don't know exactly what's going to, happen. What does this say about Pokemon Bank? Pokemon Attainable will also become eligible to use under the regulations for single and double rating battles. So that's not championships. Battle with other players' Pokemon. This is super cool. They're trying to make Battle Factory. They're like they're like they said, Wolf, we really love Battle Factory. You know you really love Battle Factory, so here's Battle Factory. So basically, you can register teams and then send a QR code, QR rental teams, to another player, and then they can be able to use it. Let's see. Yeah, you can take like, so basically you can use certain rating battles and link battles, which I think is just you linking up with another person, like person man-to-man battles, just by borrowing somebody else's team. So I think that's super cool. Super cool concept. I hope that implies that maybe we're getting the Battle Factory back. So that's way too much speculation. Do not quote me on that, but that's what I would love to see. It's also just a super cool concept, you know, like, and also like, so my little brother plays Pokemon, and like if I don't want to like breed 2 entire teams, right, that's gonna be taking me a super long time. If this is like allowable in some competitions, I can say, hey Max, like, let me send you this QR code, and all of a sudden he can play with it. So I think that's great. I don't know how much competitive use that's gonna have. I doubt they let us use that on the VGC ladder, but you never know. So global missions are starting. I have no idea. I didn't even read this. We already knew about host your own friendly competitions, online competitions. We already knew about live competitions. We already knew about. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like, I might have missed some stuff. I'm super sorry. I literally just woke up like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Rolled out that I saw this, and I really wanted to let you guys know what was going on. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this was informative for you. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I will read all of them. I'm really, really, really excited for next year's VGC season. I think it's going to be huge. I think every change they've made has been like enormously positive in terms of the rule set and stuff. So I'm super hyped. I cannot wait. I hope that this video helps you guys get hyped as well, because it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And yeah, I'm just super excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.